So it has officially been 1 year of Poddy Talk. We ended up taking a little hiatus kind of in celebration of that. Obviously, much has gone on in the world, and we did want to acknowledge, and before we hop into the podcast, we wanted to share that we do stand in solidarity with the Black community and that we stand in support of the Black Lives Matter movement. We also did want to include some resources on today's episode. If you're watching this on YouTube, we'll have some on screen. And if you're listening on the podcast app, we'll have it in the description, as well as some donation links that we chose to donate to. And we just want to continue learning and listening, and we want to make sure that we use our platforms to share that message as well.
So much has gone on in the world these last few weeks, and it would be unfair for us to not acknowledge what's currently going on. And Jack and I just want to say that we completely stand in solidarity with the Black Lives Matter movement and with the Black community at this time, sending so much love and positivity to everyone's way. I'm sure Jack feels the same. And let's roll into today's podcast episode.
Wow, it has been a year.
Welcome back to Poddy Talk,
the podcast where we shit talk ourselves.
We haven't been able to do it together.
I know. Everyone was commenting how bad it's been and it has. I'm Jack.
And I'm Tor. And this is episode fucking number 1 because we're starting a new season. I finally got Jack on the sentiment that we need seasons, so I think we're season 3.
Yeah, it's a new wave, and we thought the best way to get back into Poddy Talk was to really. We were thinking about what's the core of Poddy Talk. It's shit talking ourselves, and we love just sharing those moments in life that make us feel life ain't all sparkles.
Yeah.
So we wanted to really reach out to you guys and hear all of our listener stories and kind of those Poddy Talk moments of their lives. So we posted yesterday and today asking you to share your embarrassing stories. And I haven't even read all of them.
Embarrassing or shocking is the words
I know, you said shocking. I'm like, what does that mean? But I was like, yeah, share your most Poddy Talk and embarrassing stories. And I've been reading through some of them, and I'm absolutely gagged in all of the ways.
I'm floored. I love that our audience is so aligned with our level of embarrassment, because so Jack and I had this idea that yes, we will read your embarrassing moments, but we've also intertwined our own into these stories, which is amazing because some of these are not, are necessarily like PG rated, so we haven't shared them on the podcast, but now we can anonymously share these stories and no one will ever know which story belongs to us.
You guys can have fun guessing which story is mine, which one is Tori's. We're gonna integrate it in, but like we had posted on Instagram, we're keeping all these stories anonymous, so don't worry, we're not gonna expose you for shitting on the highway or shitting your pants in public. And also, I feel like everyone's story is involving shit. Everyone has a story where they've at least pooped themselves at least 1.5 times.
It's so true. I can't believe it.
Never trust the fart. Never trust the fart.
So why don't you start? I have to open my computer, and I literally made a Google Doc. I got so excited by these stories. It's actually crazy. Yeah. And then I also, okay, so to preface this, I have named the stories, and I'm sorry if I took like literature freedom, like, is that what you would call it? Like, because I was editing it, you know what I mean? Like, I've named
them. You spiced up their stories?
No. I didn't change the stories. I just gave them a name, but I wrote the name. So I'm just being clear that, like, I created the name for each story to, like, differentiate them.
I'm gonna be completely honest. I did not make a Google Doc of this. I just screenshotted my favorites, so I will be naming my stories afterwards. But this one here actually caught my attention first. And it's also been so funny because not only have podcast viewers been responding to this, but like random acquaintances and or people that I'm not.
Okay, you're gonna need to
sorry. No, just do not disturb if you press that up there. No, it's not a touchscreen. Sorry, I meant no with your mouse. She just was pressing.
Guys, I've been in quarantine for so long that
swipe up.
What?
Swipe other way up. Yeah, and then go do not disturb.
Whoa, that's epic. Okay, cool.
Eh? It's been so fascinating to see who's been reaching out, because people that I don't know well have been replying and sharing very vulnerable stories, which honestly, I admire that. But let's hop into story number 1.
Okay, I'm ready.
From Anonymous. Okay, embarrassing story here. Please keep this anonymous.
Oh my God.
I was on a trip in Vegas with some friends, and we ended up having to stay the night at a friend of a friend's who's owned a townhouse outside of the Strip.
Okay.
It was only for one night before our flight. As we pulled up, I realized that I had to go to the bathroom real bad, and it wasn't gonna be pee.
Oh God.
After checking out the house, I quickly ran into the bathroom to do my business. What I did not know is that the home hadn't been occupied in months, and while the owners are away, they shut off the water and electricity, which makes sense. As I finish, I try to flush, and nothing happens.
No.
So I try again, and again, Nothing. So then I start to panic, and I'm taking apart the toilet. I'm praying that somehow I can get this turd down.
No.
It's not happening. I'm sweating and I'm panicking, and now someone's waiting for the bathroom and knocking on the door. So you know, I yell, "Just a minute," and force myself to pick the poo out of the toilet, and I wrap it in some toilet paper. And then I throw it into the cupboard underneath the sink.
Shut up.
It's not over. The worst part is we never got the water running and we had to leave the next day. So that old turd is still back there until someone finds it one horrific day. I'm praying that by that time the poo will be fossilized and there will be no trace back to myself.
I am dead.
And this is also, I'm gonna keep this anonymous, but someone that I am acquaintances with. And I was
Do
like,
I know them?
No,
Okay.
no. But like, what?
That is, okay, what would you do?
I don't think I would.
I picked things out of toilet.
What?
No, I've tried to conceal things. Like, let's say something's not flushing and I have like a tampon in the toilet and someone's gonna come in. Like, I will do my very best to either like pick it out of the toilet and like put it in the garbage, or like if it's not gonna flush, like I will say I've never picked poo out of a toilet.
The idea of just dunking
you
in
almost
there.
at that point just have to own it. Buddy, I shit in here, let it live.
Right. I think honestly, at that point, I would just let it be in there. I think it's worse. Because, like, it's also, what's worse in that situation? To be the person who just shat in the toilet, which is a very normal thing.
Right.
Or is it worse to be the person that picked the turd out of the toilet, fossilized it, and mummified it, and threw it under the cupboard?
That's way worse.
Exactly.
In my
So I would rather just be the shitter in the toilet.
Same. I would just say, I shat, you're gonna have to find another bathroom.
I understand, like, the panic of, like, oh shit. Like, there was actually one time I was visiting a friend down in Arizona, and I was staying with in their parents' house, and I clogged the toilet, and I wasn't even like shitting. I think just the toilet paper, they didn't have a very strong like, you know, suction, and their dad had to kind of like help me like plunge it. I was like, no, I can plunge it. I'm sorry. Like, I don't. And then it was like that awkward thing that you get so embarrassed to be like, I've used the toilet, but it's like, that's what it's for.
Yeah, we're all doing it. Like, it's not like it's, you know.
I wonder if they still stand by that decision of like the scoop. That is crazy.
I feel like I've done things like that though. Like, not scoop poo, never, but like, you know when you like almost like shit your pants and you have to like remove your underwear? Have you ever done that?
I have to say, and this is gonna make it very clear which stories are not mine. I have never as an adult shit myself.
Right. I'm like fully pooed.
Knock on wood.
I've never fully pooed myself, but I'm just saying like almost release and you're like, I need to throw out these underwear.
There's been a shart maybe once or twice along the line.
And it's just like, okay. And then you're at a party and you have to remove your underwear and then go just bare ass for the rest of it. And then one day maybe someone would find, because I remember I had done it on my, like.
I feel like this is evoking a very specific memory. Just share at this point. What's happened?
I think I had left like dirty underwear under a sink once.
Oh, see, I don't.
And then I found it like 5 years later.
Oh, in your own house?
Yeah.
That's disgusting.
Yes.
And
not
in
someone else's
I get the concept though. It's like, again, not that I would necessarily do it, but I get the concept of we're leaving this place tomorrow. Fuck it. Like,
yeah.
But in my own home, I wouldn't fossilize my own poo.
I don't know.
Thank you for sharing. That was a great one to kick it off.
Loved it. Thank you for the potty talk. Okay, this is my first one. I named it Zipper Boy. Okay, this is how it goes. So I was on a date with a girl that had a long blonde hair that I kind of liked. So we went to see a movie, and about halfway through I went to the restroom. When I came back, it wasn't until I sat down that I realized I had forgotten to zip up my fly. I didn't want her to see me zip it up, so I sort of just awkwardly held the popcorn bowl at my crotch so she wouldn't see. Anyway, when the movie ended, she saw that one of her friends was sitting in the row in front of her, so she waved to say hi and started talking. I thought, oh my god, now's my chance, and I quickly zipped up my fly without her noticing. Success! That was until she stood up to go hug her friend, and when she did, her head quickly jerked to the side. Her hair had gotten caught in my zipper. I wanted to die.
Oh.
Crazy.
I also love how everyone has been writing these stories. It's like we've got authors for sure.
I know. What would you do, like, if you were on a date? Like, have you ever had an embarrassing thing happen on a date? Like, that's super embarrassing. If you're not, like, if you're
the
newly
thing is,
dating.
you should have just acknowledged the situation right away.
Yeah, it's almost like just do it. You know what I'm saying?
Just do it.
Yeah, don't hesitate.
Zipper boy. That one, honestly, after the fossilized poo, it's not shaking me to my core the same way, but not ideal.
Not ideal.
We can definitely say not ideal.
Okay, back to you.
One right
Wait,
there.
can I read this one? Because I died. Okay, I named it Bold Love, Bold Puke.
I can't believe that you're naming these.
Okay. Adam also said I've collected a new laugh in quarantine, which I may have.
What do you mean?
Did you just hear my laugh?
Like,
is that new?
Yeah, it doesn't sound, it sounds like a fake laugh.
Bold love, bold puke. 1 a.m. in the club. I was dancing my heart out, enjoying the company of my best friends while we took shots and had not a care in the world. Out of nowhere, my body took a turn and it was time to vomit up all those tequila and Jaeger shots. I was in a panic to get to the bathroom fast enough. In that exact moment, one of my best friends came up to me and said, I need to talk to you about something outside. It's really important. My drunk self thought it was a smart idea to just hold in the puke and pretend like everything was normal. We started walking outside and my needing to puke started to become more and more by the second. We get outside and I knew I didn't have very long before it happened. I was trying to come up with a solution to step away for a minute, and in that moment, he grabbed my hand, looked me in the eyes, and told me for the first time that he was in love with me and had been for years. About 0.2 seconds after he finished his sentence, while I was looking him in the eyes, I proceeded to vomit all over him. The first words out of his mouth were, well, that's not the reaction I was expecting, but I guess this means you don't love me back. I didn't love him back, she writes. He was one of my best friends, but I felt no more than that. So I had to clean up my puke off him and then clean up his heart for the next year. FML.
Wait, these are good.
That is crazy. Have you ever puked on someone?
No.
Have I puked on someone?
You've puked.
Oh, I've puked in
in buckets, like in objects.
I've puked in and on things, but I've never like looked at someone and then like part of me wants that success story though. Like I wouldn't mind if that transpires one day, but it has to be for like I hope it's an enemy.
I don't wish my puke on.
I hope it. That's what I'm saying. I hope it's someone I hate. I hope I like run into an ex-boyfriend and then I'm triggered and I puke on them.
The only time actually that I had an actually really traumatizing puking story, and I was actually just sick as a child, and I've never seen anything quite like my puke before. I thought I was feeling better and my grandma was babysitting me, and I asked her to make me a triple like layer grilled cheese sandwich, which odd request. I don't eat that commonly. Don't think I've ever eaten it before.
Yeah.
My grandma, being the super grandma she was, made this triple layer like white bread grilled cheese kind of thing, right? And I like scarfed it down and immediately like vomited, but it came out like a giant snake. A snake of like,
that's disgusting.
You know, if you had like white bread and it's like mushed, and it shot out at my poor grandma as a solid rope. Like it was.
That's gross.
Yeah. Puking
let's not talk about that. Okay, next story.
Do you have puke phobia? A lot of people, my mom.
I used to have huge puke phobia. I don't anymore.
The idea of someone else puking on me though, that is like,
yeah,
I can't deal with that. Okay, some of these I actually haven't read in advance, so yeah. Oh, I almost said their name. This is my story. I beg you to make it anonymous. Everyone just wanting to make sure their name's in the clear. Okay, so for such a long time, I've always wanted to be a YouTuber. So I used to film these videos that were like YouTube videos, but I would never upload them. I can totally relate to that.
Okay.
Nobody knew about them. I always knew it was dumb. So on New Year's Eve, I was filming this vlog where I was like, come follow me on New Year's Eve. For some reason, I didn't delete that video, and then one day I asked my dad to charge my phone on his charger since mine was broken. Since he knew my password, he was going through my phone and saw the video. That's weird. Then he called me into the room and showed me the video. My face was bright red and burning up. I hid myself in the closet for so long. It was truly so awkward for weeks. It was ridiculous. Okay, I can definitely resonate. You know what I still do to this day? When I'm like feeling myself, I'll be like, oh, I think I can like sing. I think I have a really good voice. Let's all be clear, I am a horrible singer and everyone knows that. But sometimes I'll be like home alone. I'm like, oh, I should maybe record myself and like see if it sounds as good like as it's sounding in my head right now.
Yeah.
So like on Snapchat, I'll just like test out, like do a little line. Or like sometimes I'll record it on like photo booth, but then you forget to delete it. Or like I save it in my like memories and stuff. And oh God, and then like one time someone came across it, they're like, what's going on? And like, you know, I'm fully like trying to like, this is real, like singing Demi Lovato, like going and like, so moral of the story, if you're gonna record yourself,
just
being
know
an idiot,
that it lives. Yeah.
Just delete it. Like, do not forget.
I think like, yeah, I'm sure I have crazy videos like that. I would feel very, like to that topic, I would feel very uncomfortable if someone just like grabbed my phone and started like actively being able to pursue my videos. Cause it's like nothing on there is like, you know, gonna incriminate me or is even that bad, but there's something so personal about like moments that have been captured of you. Like photos, I don't even think I'm
gonna say, yeah, anonymous
video.
I have to flag the fact that your dad knows your phone password and just scrolls through.
Yeah, change
a little.
that.
That's maybe. I mean, I guess it depends how old you are. If you're like fully an adult, that's probably a little odd. Like,
yeah, I don't like that.
I mean, I definitely, I just don't want anyone going through my camera roll. But
okay. I'm gotta tell you this next one.
What's going on?
Well, I have a few really good ones that I just cannot. Okay, I named this one Born with It. Okay. Growing up, I had a birthmark. I got it removed last year for health reasons, and I used to do track and field a lot as a kid. One time I was waiting to do my running for long jump, and a grown man came up to me. He licked his finger and said, "Oh, hun, you've got ketchup on your forehead." And right before he touched my forehead, I was like, "Dude, that's my birthmark." Little 7-year-old me was floored.
Aww.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. Have you ever had like a foot and mouth moment where...
What's that?
Is that what it's called? Or foot and mouth?
Oh, like your foot in your mouth moment, like meaning like you misspoke?
Yes, like in a situation like that, like being like, "Oh, here, you got something on your face," and I'm like, "That's my mole," or like.
Oh, have you done that? I've never done that to anyone.
I've probably done that to people, or
No.
like. I can't think of something off the top of my head, but I definitely had those moments where you're like, "Oh shit, I was just trying to help you, but I didn't even think like."
I mean,
like,
this is like creepy. This is like an old man to a young
that
girl.
I have to say, there's another element that I'm not comfortable with. But yeah, that definitely sucks if you have a birthmark.
But I agree,
Birthmark or you know what that actually reminds me.
I feel like people have done that to me with my warts. They're like, "Oh, there's something on your foot." I'm like, "Nah, there's just a fucking."
Oh, I think I've done that to you, maybe.
See, Jaclyn has done this before.
But that's what's so like. It's like that thing. It's like they're trying to actually help you, but then it gets so awkward because you're like, "This is my body," or "This is how I am."
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh God.
Yeah.
And I think I can empathize on both ends because I think I've been on both ends.
Yeah.
I used to have a really bad speech impediment growing up, and my R's were like W's. We talk about this all the time.
You're like, "No, that's just my accent."
Yeah, thinking it was an accent, but I had this one specific memory, and oh my God, thinking back, I'm so embarrassed. I was at the dentist, and whoever was cleaning my teeth was just like making small talk with little grade 2 Jaclyn, and they're like, "What's your favorite class or in school, or what's your favorite subject?" So I said art, but I'm sure it sounded like art. Like it probably art. Like I couldn't say art with like the R. And I remember she was like, "Oh, what's that?" I'm like, like painting and crafts, like art. And she's like, I've never heard of that before. It must be a new subject. And I remember being like in grade 2, being like, "You dumb idiot. Art is not new. Art has been around." So I'm like trying to communicate.
Bitch, art is not new.
Art class. It's not new. Like and I remember being like, "This dumb girl does not know what art is." And then, yeah, this poor woman, but it's one of those things.
I love it.
No, I'm sad.
Okay, well, do you want me to tell a
birthmark.
funny one then?
Yeah, bring me back. Bring me back up one.
Okay. This one I called Motorcycle Boy.
I hate that you've named these.
I'm originally from New York, but moved to Los Angeles to tackle a new job. I met a bad boy bartender one night, and we totally hit it off. He had a motorcycle and was pretty wild. We spent a lot of that summer falling in love and zooming around town. When the summer came to an end, I learned that he was in a green card marriage. Yes, plot twist. As I'm sure you can imagine, we are no longer together.
Oh, wow.
Could you imagine you dated someone all summer, and then they're like, "Yeah, I'm married"?
I was listening to a podcast and very similar story.
Really?
It's like, I feel like that story is more common
Than you would even know.
than you would think. But how, it's like, you think you know someone.
You think you know someone. I mean, yeah. Like, what a crazy
People are crazy. People are
situation.
crazy. It just also makes me realize how boring and like
also
my
like
life
a green
is.
card marriage is then like it always makes me like, would you do it? Like just marry someone for a green card?
No.
Yeah.
What, would you?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, you'd have to actually be dating, in my opinion, because like I had a friend that went through that process. To be fair, it wasn't with the U.S. It was like Czech, I think. Anyways, it doesn't even matter. The whole real part of the story is that she falsely married someone so that she could stay for a certain country.
Was she dating the
She was dating him, and the point was
that I can get a bit more.
And no, but she was saying you would have to be dating them at the very least, because the questions they ask you when you go through the process is insane. They'll be like, "What side of the bed do you sleep on?" And both partners have to answer the same. "What drawer in the house do you keep your underwear?" And both partners have to answer
make
the same.
sure people
what
aren't...
color is your boyfriend's toothbrush? Because it's like you would actually know.
Damn.
What like Adam's toothbrush is blue. It's like you would know that if you're actually with them and living with them.
Damn.
So they ask you, like she told me this, like the craziest questions just to get you, just to make sure that you're doing it for the right reasons, not just for a green card.
Okay, this one, again, have not proofread this, so I hope this is a good one. This is something that happened to me earlier this year when we could travel. A few people from my family, my mom, my stepdad, and my stepsister, and me, my brothers were in Germany with their dad. We went to Butlins, which is a campsite kind of thing near where I live, and we got out of the car, I took a few bags up to our room and left a few things in our car.
Seems like things would go wrong in Butlins.
Yeah, Butlins seems like something would be wrong. I was sent to go get them because it was only about 4 things. They were actually quite big. So I came running back with all the stuff because I got scared and I thought I saw someone coming towards me with a mask as I was carrying something. So I got really scared. So I ran back shaking and I was surprised that I didn't drop anything. The door is all glass and there's a small step that you have to go up to get inside. And I remember this happening in slow motion. I ran into the glass door, burst into tears because, well, hormones, and everyone from our household came to check on me, except my stepsister. She saw me and started chuckling to herself. Okay. But I stood up and said I was fine and stormed inside. Well, I tried to. I tripped over the step and landed face first on the hardwood floor. Ooh. This hurt a lot. Wait, oh my God, that is traumatic. So you realized you thought you saw something, it scared you, and then it caused you to run into a glass door, basically.
I've definitely run into glass doors before.
That is, I feel like, such a common thing.
More as a kid, like not now, really. Like I can't imagine the last time I did it.
Oh, I remember my poor grandma, God bless, in the last like year she did this.
Oh, wow.
The sliding door, it was like cleaned so well that it looked like it wasn't even a door and she just thought it was open. So they actually put stickers now on the glass door so that way they can see if it's open or closed.
Oh my God.
I don't know about you. I feel like I'm less embarrassed if things were to happen around my family, but it's more like if it's like new friends or people that I'm not as close with, then things are 10 times more embarrassing.
Right. Yeah, it's weird how that is, like how it's more embarrassing. You would think it'd be more embarrassing with people that know you, but it's more embarrassing with a stranger.
Right.
Which, that makes no sense, because it's like they don't even know
why would you care?
Fuck. So weird, but I get it.
Yeah, it is. You're that way though, right? Like I'm that way.
I think so, yeah. I think I could be embarrassed by my family too.
I definitely can as well, but I feel like it's almost more mortifying when
it's more mortifying.
Someone you kind of know.
I agree.
Okay, hit me with your next one.
Okay, this one I named, oh no, this one was pre-named. God bless the person that wrote this. Ridding my body of bad situations.
Oh no.
Okay, so not long ago, I was looking for some local art to spice up my apartment, and I got a recommendation from a friend to check out this print shop that curates art for your home with an art therapy approach. Already, I'm triggered, like art therapy. Sounded interesting enough, so I told my partner about it, and we set up a virtual call to begin the art curation the same week. When we got on the phone, we were guided through a very experimental approach that started with a performance art piece about COVID, and ended with us having to express our feelings with no prompts or feedback. My poor partner had to go first, and instantly I regretted getting us into this situation. It was so uncomfortable, and he was hating this. After about an hour and a half of flipping through an art book via FaceTime and several attempts by my partner to leave, the shop was left to curate our art. Okay, when we finally came back with our final product, the quote was far outside our prearranged budget, but I was so stressed and out and so uncomfortable and honestly couldn't bear continuing the conversation any longer that I just agreed to the price and said I'd be in the next few days to pick it all up. When I went to collect my stressful as fuck gallery wall, I brought cash as requested. They told me they couldn't give me change. They suggested further charging me more money than the already outside of my budget costs that I had stupidly already agreed to. I was so shocked and mad and annoyed that I didn't even want to be there anymore, so I made a sassy comment and walked into the shop with my stupid art. I still have not hung up that art. I'm too triggered by it. I look at that bag every day and I shudder. Oh, and on my way home I shit my pants. Your body really does know when you need to get bad stuff out of your system.
Let me just slide that in there. Yeah, just shit my
How do you feel about an art therapy approach, like virtual art therapy?
All of that was just a lot. I hate the idea of overcharging. I hate that they said that you had to pay in cash, and then they tried to upsell. I just hate that whole approach.
I hate that too.
And especially if you know it's that situation where the person is clearly being like such a nice person and they're taking advantage of, and they're probably clearly uncomfortable and someone is just pushing and pushing.
I agree.
So it's like, I feel just bad.
I know. I feel bad
as well. I'm sorry you shit yourself.
I know.
Aww.
I don't know. Yeah, like I feel like I don't like when like small shops and like people like that take advantage of the local community. It's like, this is like a local place, like you're probably going in to support local art, and then it's just, yeah, you're being upcharged. Like, I just hate that approach.
Lack of transparency.
Yeah, transparency always wins.
Okay, I have kind of another poop one, but I'm loving all of the potty talk. Okay, this one says, I had to poop in public. Food poisoning hit me like a ton of bricks all of a sudden, and it was just coming right out of me. So I dropped my pants on a busy street in the bushes. I couldn't fathom actually shitting my pants. What would you have done? I still feel bad for the old man that watched in horror.
I mean,
I get it.
Yeah.
It's a situation, like, I would much rather
Would you rather poo in your car or poo in, like, if you
Oh, I am shitting in public in a bush instead of on my own property.
Yeah, I
Like,
agree.
I'm not shitting in my car. And, like, I'm
If
also...
you had a bag, would you shit in the bag? What if it broke?
If it was in the car... If I was on a highway and couldn't get off, a bag would be the next option, I think.
Right.
I mean, what else are you gonna do?
Right.
But if there was grass or something nearby,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not gonna go to like a very, like if it's someone's house, I'm not stopping on their front lawn. But if it's like some forested area, oh, I'll hop in there.
I mean, forest, yeah. Well, Adam, when he first moved to Toronto, he told me this story about how his parents, like, they never used to come to Toronto before he moved here. Like, they would always, they're from London, Ontario. They wouldn't necessarily come to Toronto that often. So Adam was in first year university and his parents were like super excited to see him. They hadn't seen him in a few months. I think they came up for Thanksgiving, so like October.
Yeah.
And it was like their first like big visit to Toronto. And they just got into the city and they had parked their car and they were walking to go to like a nice like fancy dinner. And so it's like Adam and his mom and his dad. And Adam's mom is like the most like gracious, like very like proper woman, you know? And
Oh no.
and she's like walking and then all of a sudden a homeless person is like right in front of her, like just on the sidewalk, like bare bones, like sidewalk, like on the concrete, and just rips down her pants and rips some like insane poo onto the ground.
Oh, and she's probably like, this is fine, I'll come to the city.
And Gloria was like, "Ah!" Like, could you imagine? And she's like, I just got to Toronto, like this is my welcome into the city.
Yeah, there also, I feel like it's been an influx. I've been going on my daily walks. I think it's 3 times now, which is 3 times too many, walking by men peeing in public.
Really?
Yeah, one was on the side of like Shoppers, and like we're not.
Do you think that's because of COVID? Because all the like local bathrooms are closed?
I don't care what it is, like, sir, like, also just so,
I mean, yeah.
Like,
Have
it's
you
one
had
thing
to
if
pee outside since COVID?
No.
Oh.
Have you?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Well, no, there's no bathrooms open in the city. Like everything is closed. Like
Okay, so you just peed.
no, I go into the forestry. Like I like.
Oh, you have?
Yes. Well, what are you gonna do? You literally are gonna pee your pants. Like, how do you do that?
I just don't understand. How are you in this situation? How are you so far?
Cookings.
Oh, I see.
How are you in this situation?
Like, how are you so far from home with such a full bladder?
Yeah, because if you take drinks to the park and you're having a parking, to be fair, I'm like always so respectful. Like go into the depths of the forest. Like I don't go on people's property. I'm very much like on.
You're like, this was me last week.
Yeah.
That is so funny. I once had an incident. I always have a peeing problem, and I have probably as like a 12 or 13, like enough that it was like it wasn't a kid. Like I was old enough.
Yeah. And
I had to pull off to the side of the highway, and I peed. Again, personally, like I'm not trying to pee in public, but I kind of have no problem with that stuff.
Right.
But yeah, it's just, I get it. There's isolated cases where it's just gotta happen, but I don't appreciate, like the few times when I was walking by these men peeing on the side as I walk out of Shoppers, I was like, sir, like, even just like pick a alley, there's an alley behind here, like why, right?
Totally.
You know, like that's just a situation.
Totally.
It didn't seem like it was urgent, you know?
Yeah.
Okay, I have a story here. This says, okay, I had just started grade 9 and I used to live in yoga pants, didn't we all? I never really thought of underwear lines or about wearing a thong until one day at lunch, some girl I was eating with made a comment about how I had underwear lines.
Oh.
Do you remember? That was actually a thing. I remember.
Really?
Oh.
Well, I always wore thongs. So
Oh, see, that was such a conversation even in my school.
Interesting.
At the time, I was mortified.
I mean, underwear lines with leggings are...
Bad look.
I don't mean to.
Turns out you were the one bullying this girl in the story. At the time, I was mortified. How dare I show the world that I do, in fact, wear underwear, and none other than a bikini cut. Absolutely unacceptable. So, too embarrassed to ask my mom to buy me thongs, I thought I could just avoid this issue by manually turning my bikini underwear into a thong, but just, as you guessed, shoving the extra material up my ass crack. I walked around like that for at least 2 months, completely satisfied with my new invention until I finally caved and bought a thong.
That's funny.
That is actually relatable. I have
very
definitely done that before.
I also just feel like I remember getting my first thong and like I think I accidentally snuck it in. You know what I mean? Like I just like got it in with the order, and I think I was with my friend's mom, so I wasn't even with my mom, and I think I think my friend and I just kind of snuck them into the order, and we had matching
Totally.
ones, and it was like our little like secret. But I remember it got a lot of use because then I was
That was your go-to underwear each
because
time.
I didn't want underwear lines.
I think it's one of those things too. I actually remember the exact same thing, and oddly a very similar story. I remember I was
mine was
at.
like bright orange.
Mine was like cheetah print. It was
And
like, you know,
had,
Victoria's Secret
it
pink.
had like
for those
a
who
thing
get it.
on it, like you know how they used to have like insane.
Why did
I
Victoria's
think it
Secret
said
pink?
like sweet on it. With,
Oh
like,
my
with
God.
like a cherry.
Oh my
Jesus.
god. No, I remember being at the store, and my mom's also like a very chill person. I remember also too. It's that awkward. That's what I'm saying.
I
It's
don't
just
know why I was.
when you're like 11, 12, like it is that awkward conversation though. I get it. So I was the same thing. I didn't want to be like, Mom, I want to wear thongs.
Yeah.
But I remember being out buying new underwear, and we had someone kind of helping us like pick the right styles and whatever. And I remember I was like, oh, I could just like wear a thong. And my mom's like, yeah, like sure, but like she thought I didn't want that. She thought I was like feeling like I should.
Right.
So then she's like, yeah, but you can get this style too. And I think the worker there kind of was like, oh, like this young girl is trying to get a thong. So I think she actually put one in our cart or in our bag. Like I don't even think we get paid for it. So I remember getting home and being like, oh, that girl put a thong in here, but like we didn't buy it. So I think she was actually like my wing woman back in the day. And
I would
then
do that for someone for sure.
I know, I think she was actually trying to help me. And then I was like, oh my God, Mom, she put a thong in here. And my mom was like, oh, well, maybe you'll like it. Like, try it kind of thing. Like, she obviously didn't care.
Right.
And I was like, oh my God, that woman was like totally picked up my vibe.
That's also like when that's like, I mean, exposed, but like it's so lucky to have an older sister.
Yeah.
Because I would just fucking steal her thongs. Like I know that's crazy, but like I think any
your
sister
sister,
would say
yeah.
that. Yeah, I feel like older sisters, it's like you've already paved the way, and it's just so
That's
handy.
true. That's true. See, I was
then
the
I would
first
just
girl
fucking
in my family.
steal them.
That is so funny.
Yeah.
And relatable.
And relatable.
No underwear lines here.
No underwear lines on Poddy Talk. All right, here's another one. This one I called New York State of Mind. I was on a work trip in New York City, and we were staying at a super high-end hotel, the heat of luxury. I was coming off a pretty busy few weeks and wanted to let out some steam. We went on a client dinner, and the drinks started rolling, maybe a little too quickly. By the time I left dinner, I was already feeling like $1,000,000, but we decided to hit up the local lobby for a little jazz bar situation. Someone ordered me a few rounds of shots, and I started to feel so sick. I immediately ran to puke in this far too nice 5-star hotel bathroom, with puke basically in my hands as I ran for the toilet. I somehow pulled it together enough to politely tell the clients I had to go to bed and escaped the scene. But what happens next is where the true details lie. I thought to myself that I must be pregnant because I never puke from alcohol, not understanding 10 drinks may do that to a person. I jumped out of my dainty dress and threw on a big fur coat with nothing else underneath it. It was the middle of December, and thought to go on a hunt to CVS for a pregnancy test at 1 a.m. in the New York City morning. My colleague was staying a few floors above me, so I thought it would be responsible to let her know that I was leaving. She obviously could tell I was drunk and tried to simply put me downstairs and told me to go back to bed. I proceeded to lose the plot and ran around this 5-star hotel room screaming, "I'm a grizzly bear!" And then, oh yeah, call back to my earlier fur coat situation. I did make it to bed, I did puke all night and in the morning, and somehow made it to the client meeting the next day. Stunning turn of events, I was simply drunk, not pregnant.
Oh, that is too much. I love that naked underneath, but fur on top only. Like
Yeah.
that's the first instinct when you decide you need to go get a
I
pregnancy
feel like
test.
there's something about being drunk that like you don't want clothes on. Is that a thing? Like you rid yourself of
Just
clothing?
nakedness?
Or like, you know, when you're at the club, like I relate to the idea of like when you're at the club and you're in like your hot ass outfit, but then you return home and immediately you're just like, get this tight shit off
I also
me.
just love the idea of after a night of being out and
Yeah.
drinking, someone's first instinct because of puking is, oh, I must be pregnant. This must be
Right.
morning sickness versus I'm just sick from all the alcohol. Like that is a great concept, but they never let us know, were they pregnant? I need the end of the story. Maybe
No.
they were.
No, they weren't, because the end of the story was stunning turn of events. I was simply drunk,
Oh, not pregnant. Oh, woo.
Yeah.
Damn.
Could you imagine that's the plot twist in the
like,
end?
I am with
you
child.
actually were just so 3 weeks along.
Oh God. Okay, this one here says, so I was at work and I was angry at one of my colleagues who had messaged me on Skype. So I messaged another colleague to tell her the story, but for some reason my Skype glitched and I ended up calling the person that I was mad at, and I didn't like how, and I was saying I didn't like how idiotic they were being. Let's just say it wasn't my finest moment. Moral of the story, don't talk shit about someone at work.
Ooh.
That is, again, high-key relatable. I've had a situation, does this ever happen to you on your phone where even like you'll like go to FaceTime someone, but then like the screen will refresh and then like you'll click the wrong name or you accidentally call the wrong person?
Wait, did I tell you about the fact that Oh, this is so stupid. My sister's name is in my phone twice.
Why?
One being her actual number and name. The other one being her ex-boyfriend, but under her name.
Oh, no.
So a few years ago, but to be fair, it has the dancing emoji, so I always know the dancing emoji is the ex-boyfriend, but it says Paige Webster, dancing emoji, and then just Paige Webster. So I know normal Paige Webster doesn't have the emoji. Ask me why I didn't just put her ex's name as the number, but one day I...
Pukes on camera now.
Could you imagine? I throw up.
And I've been saying, like, I'm gonna shit myself all day. You're puking. I'm just shitting.
We're so triggered by these stories. No, I fucking called him thinking it was my sister. This was years ago. Now I can differentiate the numbers now. I should
just change the name.
Delete it. But so my lazy ass has never changed the name, but I'm aware of it now. So I fucking call. And the crazy part is it made me feel really sad because
he wasn't doing well.
No, because my number, when it comes up, it doesn't say Torri Webster. It actually comes up as my dad's corporate name, which is my entire family because we're all under the corporate account. He thought it was my sister.
So did you just pretend you were Paige?
He was like, hey, Paige. And I was like, I gotta go.
Oh,
and I just hung up. And then I felt so bad because I was like, oh my God, he's probably like, my ex is calling. She misses me. And then I told my sister and she goes, fucking delete the number, Torri.
Oh, that's a dumb move.
Well, she's fully in another relationship. So from her perspective, she's like, you're an asshole for even calling him. Like, for sure. But yeah, no, talk about like that wrong number.
That's the thing. Sometimes the iPhone be glitchy. And yeah, I've called the wrong people before or like, you know, like immediately, like, oh my God, this actually happened like not too long ago.
Yeah.
I was talking to someone on the phone and was frustrated.
Yeah.
And then immediately went to go call someone else and immediately just called them back again. I was like, shit, like all those things happen all the time.
I always like have this weird trigger and I think I should also delete this number. There was like an old like ting of mine, like not a boyfriend by any means, but like a situation in high school that we definitely had a moment.
Yeah.
And I really should not reveal the name, but first name, same as my current boyfriend, like Adam. His name is also Adam. But
you get into too much trouble saying people's names on the podcast. Adam.
But it's fine. So whatever. My current boyfriend's name is Adam, but this guy who was from back in the day, his name is also Adam. And I have this deep, it's never happened, but I have this deep sense in my soul that like one night, drunk or like stupidly, I'm gonna like click the wrong Adam. And I just am waiting for that day. And what will I say? Hey, what's up, Torri?
Hi.
You're not my boyfriend. Like, hang up.
Damn.
Like, I just am triggered.
Oh yeah, you gotta be careful.
Do you want me to read one?
Yeah, go for one more. I have another one here too after.
Okay. This one I named First Period. I was in Greece and I was 11 years old on a family vacation, and me and my grandpa and cousins went to a historic castle, and there was sand that was this reddish, dusty color. When we got back to my grandparents' house, I wanted to go swimming at the beach, but while changing, I noticed that my underwear had red sand in it. But then my mom told me it was actually my period, and I cried there for about an hour, sad and confused.
Oh no.
Aww. Yeah, first periods suck. I like thought I was just dying for like 3 months before I realized.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like I think I was stupid because, you know, when you like, I mean, this is kind of gross, but like your first period is not a period. It more looks like you shat yourself.
Yeah, they always warn you, they're like, it's gonna be brown.
Like it's like poo brown. So I kept thinking, oh no, I'm having like a shitting problem.
Oh no, I've shit myself again.
So like I was in grade 7 when I got my period, which I guess is pretty early, really, I guess. Or normal.
That's pretty
normal?
average.
Grade 7?
I feel like I was late because mine was grade 8 to grade 9.
Oh yeah, that is later. So grade 7, so I get my period, and I just remember being like, damn, I keep shitting myself.
Oh no.
But then my mom actually is the one who called me out because she goes, Torri, did you get your period? And I go, no. Because back then I wasn't doing my laundry. She was doing my laundry.
Wait, so you fully the whole time thought it wasn't?
I was just shitting in my underwear. I just kept shitting.
Like, oh, I'll just throw those in the wash. Throw those under the cupboard with the other ones.
That's what I'm saying, and I just throw them in the wash. So then finally my mom was like, Tor, like, no, like, you're on your, like, that's a period. Like, and I was like, whoa, that's a period? Because I just thought I was shitting myself. But yeah, so don't feel bad if you're in grade 7 and you thought you pooed yourself. It's actually just your vagina bleeding.
So I remember, because my mom used to teach, we have an audience right now who is enjoying these stories too much. So my mom used to teach like grade 8, loved teaching sex ed. Like I remember even as a kid, she would have all of her like books in our basement. So as kids, we would like go through and be like, ew, genital warts, and like close all these like things. Like so funny. And my mom just being like truly the best human, like always like so real, like would always have these honest chats with us, and you know, gave us the talk quite young. And so I've always been like ready for my period. And my mom was so cute. She had like a little bag ready for me, like got different sizes of pads, wings, no wings, tampons, like
that's cute.
liners. Like she was like, and I always had it in my backpack.
So you know when
from,
you
like,
shit yourself that it was actually
well,
a
from
period.
like grade 4 onwards. And some of my
Whoa.
friends, some of my friends had gotten their period really early. And I think I had just read something recently where the age is actually getting younger throughout generations. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's like environmental factors or how that works. But kids are apparently getting periods younger and younger now.
Weird.
I don't know where the studies are for that, but I've heard someone say that. Anyways, long story short, so I was like ready / like new since grade 4. I was like, okay, gotta be ready. But every day low-key like lived my life in anxiety because I knew all my friends had their period.
Whoa.
And I mean, I was like a gymnast. I was like super like lean as a kid. Like those things can also attribute to having your period later.
Yeah.
And I didn't have my period like again until end of grade 8.
No, it's pretty
so
late.
every day I was like, oh, is today gonna be the day? Is today? But then finally when I got it, I was like, oh, okay.
Clearly
like,
I wasn't worried. I was in shit-stormed underwear for 3 months. Like, I just like didn't care, but that triggered another story, which, like, have you ever had like a really terrible like period leak?
I actually am lucky.
There was this girl, I'll share her embarrassing story because it was so embarrassing.
I'll share this on her behalf. Shout out to Catherine.
Her name was...
No, don't actually say her name.
No. This was from like literally grade 5. If she came out for me, like, I mean, bruh, like, no, she's not listening to the pod. But
I'm gonna have to edit these out. God
she
bless.
literally was wearing the whitest of snow pants. And
through a snow pant?
No, white as snow, like white pants.
Oh, I
just
thought you were saying she was wearing
weird.
white snow pants, like she bled through snow pants? That's a lot of insulation.
No, she was just wearing like white jeans, which like white jeans already, scary. But then I guess like she was wearing like a pad, and then I guess it was like seeping through the pad. We were like, I must have been like actually grade 6 or 7, so we were old enough.
Bold of her to wear white pants on her period.
And then she like got it from the chair, and it was like on the chair, and then she had to walk to the bathroom. I felt so bad. Like she had to do the like walk of shame from the chair all the way like through the classroom to the bathroom. I luckily have never had that, but I have stained. This was my most embarrassing. I didn't change a pad. I was like, just didn't. And I was sleeping at my friend's house. Luckily, like it was like one of my best friend's house. So, like it is what it is. But I fully stained her sheets. Like, you know, when you like wake up in the morning, it's like leaked through the sheets, and it was her sheets. And I was like, bro, I'm so sorry.
Especially at that age too. Like it's just like so uncomfortable talk. Exactly.
You're not as candid.
I'll do the laundry so and so. Like versus
you're not as
shit,
candid. You're
man.
like, bro, I fucking bled all this onto your sheets. Like now it would be like hilarious. I'd literally like I'd take the sheets off and donate them to the friend. I'd be like, they're yours now. But like at that age, you don't have.
It's so traumatizing.
You don't have the level of maturity to just be like, this is normal. This is not your fault.
Well, it's also, I feel like sometimes the way people angle it too, like society
make
like,
it shameful.
Now, well, yes, or on the reverse, they're like, now you're becoming a woman. Congratulations. It's like, why is it all this thing? It's just like, you have your period now. Like, it's nothing like worth like having an entire party for. It's also not anything to be ashamed of. It's just like, it is what life. It is.
Yeah.
And it always was so like embarrassing to me as a young kid when people would make it such a thing. It's like, it just is. Don't like make it weird one way or the other.
Yeah.
But, oh God. I'm just sorry.
I know.
I'm sorry.
Sorry for I said your
There's
name
so
a few
many
times,
more. We'll have to bank some of these
I know.
and share them later. Still, like now, I mean, obviously now we're finally at the place of doing our podcast in person. Torri is now in my bubble. You guys know I was literally alone for like 3 months, bro. It was not it.
Yeah.
But so excited to finally be reunited and to be able to do Poddy IRL. I feel like it's just not the same doing it on Zoom.
It's
so
true.
I'm so glad we're back to in person. And we're gonna kind of test out. We're shooting now in Tor's house, and hopefully the audio is good today.
Yeah.
We're still obviously not in studio with our proper mics and everything, so don't hate us too much. Also, we did want to say a big thank you again. We mentioned it at the beginning, but 1 year of Poddy Talk, that's absolutely insane. It's kind of in a way flown by, but also it's like, how have we had so many hours of us just,
I know.
like talking about nothing. Talking about absolutely nothing. Nothing of substance. Anyways, but thanks guys always for tuning in and for supporting the podcast, and we're excited for more shit stories to come.
All right, roses and thorns, baby.
Oh, I almost forgot. Oh, we're so out of practice. Okay, Thorn. Thorn is that Well, we were talking about this earlier. I actually am on my period, and you know that one moment of just like a period shit. I'm just like, I feel like I just need to go to the bathroom.
Yeah, I hate that.
So I'm just in a little like discomfort right now, but I'm okay. But definitely a thorn in my uterus right now.
Thorn in my uterus.
And a rose is, it stopped raining. It was like oddly a thunderstorm and humid and like weird, but now it looks like it's somewhat clear skies.
True.
Another rose is filming the podcast here.
Yeah.
And something I'm looking forward to is, I've been rollerblading a lot these last few days, so I'm looking forward to going for a rollerblade tomorrow.
Oh, that's nice. Okay, thorn is, what is my thorn today? I feel as if, oh my God, I had a client call this morning and I didn't realize it was a video call, and I had like just gotten out of the shower and I accepted the call thinking it was an audio call, but it was fully not, it was visual. And I was like, oh, and then I had this like freak out moment because I was fresh out of the shower. That was a thorn, and I mean, it was like a big client, so I really like, that's just embarrassing.
Should have not been naked on webcam.
Yeah. And then a rose is, we're having a little bit of like a girls' night tonight, really down for that, and super excited. Got the rosé in the freezer. That's the energy of this evening. So that is lit. Another rose is, a new episode of the Views podcast came out today, so
I didn't see it.
I love going on my like jogs on Mondays or Tuesdays when the new episode comes out. Like, I hope you guys feel this way about the podcast, like that you get excited.
I just believe that the whole world is obsessed with David Dobrik like I am. We talk about him so much.
I just can't. Like, I just love his energy. So, and I will say he inspires so much of what I do, and I just hope that transpires in this podcast.
I know I'm the Jason Nash to your David.
Thank you. And then
but
finally,
like the not funny version.
And then finally, Rosebud. I am looking forward to Torchella 2020.
Me too.
Yeah, I'm having my like annual birthday party, and I think it's gonna come to life, even though with all this COVID stuff, I'm gonna see. But that's it, baby. See you next week. That's been another episode of Poddy Talk.
Guys,
we love
this
you.
was fun.
Bye.
Bye.